Okay, so now we've built the track. It's time to master it a little bit. For this, I'm going to loop it for like 7 seconds. And I have to tell you that I have 3 ways of working. I already explained it in the basic template. Let's go down and show you the groups. Either I can deliver the stems to my mixing mastering engineer for stem mastering. It depends on what kind of track it is, you know, with vocals and very complex melodies and whatever. I'm always delivering stems, or I can send a mix down, just a raw wave of my whole track, so he can master that. Or I can master it myself a little bit to play it out in the clubs, and if it sounds good on different sound system, then I might decide not to do mastering at all for a track. It just all depends. Most of the time I'm using mastering. So for now, let's do it ourselves. And let's do first some mixing. Let's go through the mix a little bit. First start with the kick. Well, the kick sounds very tight already, so let's layer the claps. And the claps are a little bit too loud already, as you can hear. So we're at the fader right now. Let's move it down a little bit. Let's go to this one. All right. This sounds good. It doesn't need any extra EQing or whatever. Sounds really good. So let's go to the bass line, layer it. Already hearing that it's too loud. So let's go to that fader, put it down a little bit. I think this is good. And what I also hear, if you listen closely, I still hear this click and I don't like it. So let's make a high pass filter. Or a high cut, sorry. Cut in the high end, or somewhere here. It's perfect like this. Alright, this makes sense. Now let's layer the percussion. Oh, it sounds really nice already. Nice stereo image. Not too loud, not too soft. Yeah, this is good. Let's add the main hi-hat. That one's a little too loud. But it doesn't need any EQing, I think. But let's move it down just a little bit. Like this is perfect. Okay, this works. Let's go to the closed hi-hats. They're a little too aggressive. I think we only have to move down the volume here as well. Let's see, like -1 should work. No, this works. Okay, -1. Let's move over to the shuffles. Needs to go down a little bit too. Go to this one again. Okay, it works. Doesn't need any EQing at all. You know, we did some EQing already throughout the track. So that's my base. Actually, my basic mastering and mixing process is during arranging. So it's that's why I don't have to do so much EQing. Let's go over to the sounds. And first the vocals. You can already hear it's perfect. Let's go on to Jupiter. Also very nice. Stereo image is nice, don't have to change anything. Now the main lead step. Doesn't need anything else as well. So, alright. Okay, this is perfect. Now let's see if the lead reverb climax is good as well. The house string is good. Nothing's too sharp here. Well, maybe in that loop that we bounced for the break, there's a little bit much mid-frequency going on. So let's give it a little dip there. Maybe a bit more. Perfect. And the crashes were already good. Alright, this is perfect. So volume-wise, everything is on place now. Last thing is, as we want to master it ourselves now, I don't want to call it mastering, because mastering got so much more details and stuff. I'm not a mixing engineer, so but we want to play it out in the club. So what I do is most of the times go for API 2500 from Waves, and I'm always selecting the Drew Levine Modern Mastering Glue, and I'm not changing anything to these knobs because it sounds really good already. The only thing I do is put this one to 0, so I'm more flexible with limiting. So without sounds like this, less glued, and now let's glue it together a bit. That's what I mean. Alright, so up next is a little bit of frequency VST stuff going on, because I find there's a little bit too much in the 2K region. So let's give it a little dip right there. Not too much, and give it a little bit more air with the high frequency here. Not too much, just a little. And this is okay. I don't need to dip anything here in the lows. It's perfectly like this. Okay, last but not least, we have our limiter, and I most of the times use the L1 limiter from Waves. Okay, let's go for that. Let's play it. Alright, let's go for this. It's not doing too much, but I'm always paying attention to what it's doing here. Alright, and for the clubs I'm always leaving it to 0.0. If I'm mastering it myself, I'm going to put it to minus 0.3 for MP3 purposes on different purposes. So with these settings, I'm like selecting everything, and of course I'm muting this, and then I'm bouncing my track to the final DJ version. So this was it for now. I hope you learned a lot from my course, from my tutorial. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me or Sonic Academy. I will get the questions anyway, and I'll be happy to answer them. So hopefully see you next time for a next course, whenever. And thank you for watching this. Bye bye.